Hello, welcome to this very special edition of the Pace Report. I'm Brian Pace reporting live here at this year's 2022 Montclair Jazz Festival, presented by Jazz House Kids. One of the performers this year is no stranger to the jazz world, Chilean-born jazz vocalist Claudia Acuna. Now, Claudia has been out of the loop for a little while, but now she's back with a brand new record, a very special project, which is entitled Duo. Now, on this project is just her and some very special musicians, including the likes of the great Kenny Barron, Christian McBride, Russell Malone, Arturo O'Farrill, and the great Regina Carter. Now, what she did on this album is 7 of the songs on this duo project come from composers hailing from Chile, Cuba, and Argentina and Mexico, but she also records one of her own original songs, and she pays tribute to one of her favorite heroes and composers, the great Chick Corea. Tonight I had a chance to sit down to break bread with her to talk about this brand new recording, as well as we sit down and talk about and reflect on the life of Chick Corea, as well as talk about one of her heroes, the great Abbey Lincoln. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the highlights of Miss Claudia Acuna, live here at this year's 2022 Montclair Jazz Festival, presented by Jazz House Kids, here in downtown Montclair, New Jersey, here on the Pace Report.
Para olvidarme de ti, voy a cultivar la tierra. En ello espero encontrar remedio para mis penas. Aquí plantaré el rosal de las espinas más gruesas. Tendré lista la corona para cuando en mí te mueras. Para mi tristeza violeta azul, clavelina roja para mi pasión. Y para saber si me correspondes, te supo un blanco manzanillo. Si me quieres mucho, poquito, nada, tranquilo queda mi corazón. Creciendo irán poco a poco los alegres pensamientos, irán lejos tu recuerdo, de la flor de la amapola seré su mejor amiga, la pondré bajo la almohada para dormirme tranquila. Para mi tristeza violeta azul, clavelina roja para mi pasión. Y para saber si me correspondes, te soplo un blanco manzanillo. Si me quieres mucho, poquito, nada, tranquilo queda mi
Congratulations on this new record.
Thank you.
I see the old you is back.
Yes, well, I don't know if the old me is ever gonna come back. I think it's just this new me with new feathers, like the phoenix bird. And now I'm just shaking it even more and showing my new colors and shape and all that.
That's good, that's good, that's good. I want to congratulate you on this new record. It's very, very unique. It's called Duo. And on this record, you have some amazing cast of characters. I wouldn't even say cast of characters. You have some heavyweights on this record.
I do.
Explain the concept of this record.
The concept of this record was a couple of things. When I first started to have gigs in New York, especially, they were all duos. You know, I started doing duos with Harry Whitaker and Jason Linder and other musicians. And even on my first album, I have a duet with the bass. And it's a concept that has always been in my mind. And this record per se, it was like a dream that I never had the courage before to sort of go after. And then the pandemic came, and as many people, you question so many things about life and how much you wait to do things just because of fear or etc. etc. And I took a chance, and I wanted to also go to a place that is very comfortable for me, which is intimate, a duet, like a conversation like what we're having right now. And I was so blessed and honored that the people that I call wanted to do this. And I also wanted to record it live with musicians that could come to the studio and do it live.
There are some very interesting dynamics of this album. You record only one of your original songs, but a lot of the music on here is one in your native Chilean, also Mexican and...
Yes, and Cuba, and the composers that were in the record. The composers are from Chile, from Mexico, and Cuba.
Why did you decide to sing music of those countries?
Well, it was not intentionally looking for the countries. First I was looking, it was very hard to decide on the songs because I have too many. And it was an idea of bringing songs that I grew up with, that they mean a lot to me, that either I can close my eyes and see my grandmother mumbling a song, or my dad, or my uncle playing the guitar, or parties at home. Also to showcase some of the composers that were women too. Except for Victor Jara and another Chilean composer that I sang the songs, but it was not so much into looking into the countries, it was more sort of songs that I grew up listening to.
That's good. That's good. I mean, and then also you did something on this album, and we lost the heavyweight here last year, the great Chick Corea.
Yeah.
What song did you choose to do?
Crystal Silence. And I choose that because my dream was to sing with Chick, and I was very honored to have shared quite a few moments with him through my musical career, and he was always so kind and encouragement. It gave so much encouragement to musicians like me. And when he passed away, I felt like instead of calling another instrument to do the song, I was like, I'm gonna pretend and imagine, and I could hear him playing in my head, and I was gonna imagine that I was gonna sing with him, and it's a very humble and respectful tribute to him. And I felt that instead of replace him with another instrument or another musician, it was my way to say thank you, just crystal silent and just with my voice.
What does Chick Corea mean to you as a musician and as an artist?
He's a school, as an era that so many of us grew up with his music, like I remember being in Chile and going to a friend's house that had this album, and like squeezing it to the last little note. The fact that he was from South America too, part of his roots were from Mexico, and he was just such a big force and such an inspiration. And then, to come from Chile and have the chance to share a meal with him and talk is like, oh man, this is just amazing,
Yeah, the world will miss him. I mean, and Chick wrote so much music.
Yes.
I mean, if it was with Return to Forever, if it was the trio, so many projects.
Yes.
I mean, and I'm a Gemini, so we're kind of always in motion, and that was what his life was all about. It's really wild how
he embodies music.
Yeah.
You know what? He breathed. He was music everywhere, in every form and shape. I think he was one of the most creative force, you know, like you just said, he did so many different projects with so many different people in many different shapes and forms, and to see someone like that, it's just to be inspired and motivated to always try to be free to create, you know, and not get in the way.
You know, we used to smile and say hello and spin the world and turn the page, entertaining from the stage. Forever true love is on, and me and you disappear just like the sun when the day is done. The world is falling down. Hold my hand. It's a lonely sound. Hold my hand. We'll follow the breeze and go like the wind and look for a place where the willows bend. The world is falling down. Hold my hand. Hold my hand. Hold my hand. Hold my
You did a stirring tribute to a woman who I have always admired. I had an opportunity to see her right before she passed away, the great Abby Lincoln. And she encouraged a lot of women to embrace the art.
Yes.
Tell her how did you get exposed to Abby, and what are some of your things that you loved about her art?
Wow, I can talk about Abby for a whole day. First of all, I knew her music back home. Then I moved to New York, and I was very blessed and lucky that a dear friend of mine, Albester Burnett, was playing with her. And he was like, "You have to meet Abby, and Abby has to meet you." And we met, and we clicked. And after that, she gave me her number, and I used to go almost every week to visit her. So I knew her music, and then to get to know the person and call her a friend and a mentor. Abby, I think, is one of the most incredible female artists that I have the privilege to meet and know so much and get so inspired by her and her force. And she was a force of nature. She was so much more than what people saw on stage, more than her songs. She was a 100% artist. You know? She will breathe and come out with pieces of art. And I feel like for the rest of my life, I feel like I want to always pay tribute to her because of her friendship, her inspiration, and her lyrics and her music are so strong. They give such a strong message to the time that we live in. And I think one of my obligations as a vocalist is the power of words that I have, different than other instruments. And I want to always honor them.
Where do you see yourself musically going now? Now we're kind of coming out of this pandemic and the world is reopening. I know you're a mother now. What is it that you want to do musically now? There's some things and ideas that you, during the last 2 years, you want to get out and let the world know about?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and again, motherhood has never stopped women to do what we need to do or want to do. You take the time that you need to take for obvious reasons, but I know so many artists, and not artists or women, and they're doing their work like I'm doing it today. Where I see myself performing, getting back strongly on tour, and to be able to present my music like today to the audience, promote and hopefully do a couple of shows at least with this amazing group of artists that were part of my duo album, or at least a few. And then, like you said, in the pandemic I have like 2 albums in my head, so I'm already working on the next project, and which I hope it'll come to a reality in the next year, hopefully, or whenever, you know, because it's mostly originals. And I look forward more collaborations, and I just love to be here today and feel like what you just said, we kind of back to normal and see different artists and masters that you share the same stage, and you say hello and you tell them how you feel and you vibrate with them and you share all this positive energy that we all needed.
That'll do it again for this very special edition of the Pace Report, reporting live at this year's 2022 Montclair Jazz Festival, presented by Jazz House Kids. I'd like to personally thank the talented Claudia Acuna for her time. Make sure you support her brand new Rope-A-Dope Records release, Duo, which is now available on iTunes, Amazon.com, and CD Baby. Also, I'd like to personally thank Melissa Walker and Christian McBride and the wonderful staff at Jazz House Kids for putting on a fantastic festival this year. As always, I can't stress this enough. People, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave comments on my videos here on YouTube and Vimeo, as well as follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. As always, people, remember, if it's in the groove, it'll make you move. Till next time, peace.